with a chance to take the lead. Kaepernick, end zone, front three. Broken up, picked off. This game is over.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to 12 Minutes Every Time. I'm Mike Bailey. This is Ryan Bailey. And we're here to review the Week 8 win versus the Browns at home, 24-20. Huge win. Moved us to 5-2 and first place in the NFC West. In the NFC West with the Rams and the Niners losing, with the Niners having 3 losses in a row, which is nice. So anyways, As usual, this is 12 minutes. We're going to start the timer now.
All right, Ryan. And our first one in the throwback jersey.
Oh yes, great call. I did forget about that. That skipped my mind. Beautiful with jerseys. I loved it. I love seeing it, and it's in due time. It's been long enough, I should say. So, all right. I think one thing we were always mentioning in our previous episodes were fast starts, and that's something the Seahawks did accomplish this week, putting up 17 points in the first quarter.
Dude, it was funny. It was almost the opposite of the Bengals game, where the Bengals had fast start, right? And then they pulled out. Then they couldn't do anything all game, and then they pulled out the win because we couldn't execute in the red zone, especially inside the 5. And then this game, fast start, and then we can do nothing all game. But then Gino went down at the end and won that game for us. So it was awesome. It was great. It was great to see. Just showed these guys want to win, and they can do it. And they can beat up the best defenses out there with that offense. And, I mean, putting up over 20 points against that defense is great. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a big time. And you're right. That's a great point about the opposite of the Bengals game. Our O-line played extremely well. We were worried about Myles Garrett and some of their other pass rushers. The O-line held him, and the tight ends and the running backs, they all held him to 1 sack, which is great. He was the only person with the sack. And once again, our O-line is an ongoing situation, as the secretary of the press would say for the president. It's an ongoing situation. So, but one thing we did want to mention is the rotation on the right side with the right tackles.
Dude, super cool. Pete talked about it after the game, and he's just like, I think, it's a new philosophy that I'm kind of jumping on the bandwagon for. And so, I mean, if you've got, the right side of the field is always not your strongest, right? I would always draft the left side for making sure the blind side of the quarterback is there. And, we rotate defensive linemen over and over again. Why can't we rotate offensive linemen? If they're both the same type of talent, who cares, Let's get them out there.
Sorry to interrupt. I think that's kind of an old school train of thought, that you need the camaraderie, and you need to have everyone on the same page. Everyone needs to have the same snap, and I do think this is one thing to slowly put Peters in and get him into more game shape as well.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think on defensive side they play more players. They just do, right? They rotate more players in and out. But on offense, it's like just those guys, and that's it. And they're all, that's it. There's just those starters that go out there, but. It's kind of cool to see something different, and I mean, it worked. It was whatever we did last game worked. Waldron called up a good game plan, and you saw some of the replays, some of the things on Twitter, and not watching the game again. They were chipping and blocking Myles Garrett. Like, everyone was on him. They knew what to do, and it works. Like, I don't care that it took us the last second to go down there and win the game. Like, we did not let him beat us, and that makes me happy.
Once again, Andy Dickerson did a great job. I think we only had one bad game as an offensive line unit where we were really getting beat. Everything else has been very cohesive, and everyone seems to be on the same page. And yes, with the rotation, I think it's nice. Like, get everyone else more comfortable. And unfortunately, it has to have been that way. Maybe in their mind, they do want just the starting 5 that we had week 1, but unfortunately, that's not the situation. And I do kind of like the cohesiveness of everyone knowing their role and playing multiple positions. So.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going to happen to Abe Lucas. I don't know if he's going to come back. And even if he does come back, should we continue to, rotate a guy in there every once in a while just to give him a little breather or whatnot, just to keep his longevity going for the season. I don't think they're going to do it for someone like Charles Cross, who just,
That's understandable. Yeah. And I guess maybe you're right that the right side is not as strong, or not. It's always important, but the left side is the bigger, it's
just
always,
how it is, right?
If you got a right-handed quarterback, there's not a lot of lefties.
Unless you're dumb like the Giants and draft like a right tackle in the first 5 picks, then you're the only team that's going to do that.
There are some blunders. Obviously, we just saw the Raiders fired their head coach and GM after not even 2 full seasons or not even 3 full seasons. So one thing we want to also point out on offense is that Charbonnet played a lot more. He had 5 carries for 53 yards. It was nice to see him out there. I believe I saw him a lot out there on third downs and pass blocking.
Yep, he's pass blocker, but he had phenomenal runs. I think he was averaging over 10 yards a carry.
Yeah, 5.
And right? Like, that's awesome. But, I obviously don't want him to out-snap Kenneth Walker. Like, I still need Kenneth Walker to be like, oh, you're our man, right? Give him that confidence, give him that level of, you're the big dog here, and we let this guy come in here and help you out. Like, I still don't want that. I don't want something in the locker room happening because Charbonnet is starting to take over. I don't want any of that. That doesn't sound fun for me. But he played phenomenal, and Jake Bobo had a touchdown, and JSN had a touchdown. Like, the rookies were playing well. Yeah,
that's Walker's a second-year player. Charbonnet, JSN, and Bobo are even though Bobo's 25, he's a rookie as well. And it's tough making that jump. Just because he's older, it doesn't mean it's some dudes never make the jump. Even at 25 or 26 or 27, as recently we've seen Chase Claypool, who's probably around the same age, 25, out of Notre Dame on his 3rd team in the Dolphins, and I haven't heard his name in a few weeks. So, some players don't ever make the jump. So, and DK had mentioned it in the preseason that Bobo is far beyond DK in his splits, in his footwork, in the way he manipulates defenders into getting the routes he wants to get. So it's pretty impressive. And once again, rookies, even our offensive line is really young, and Gino is the veteran on the team, which is good as your quarterback in a sense. And he doesn't even have a lot of miles on his body. So that's good as well.
He does it. We're young. We're hungry. You could see it. You could see it out there. We're young and hungry all day, and you definitely see it on that defense for sure.
And we do see some what look like errant throws from Gino, and maybe the on-air talent of Fox or CBS or any of the other sports entertainment companies. But in reality, Gino's making very difficult throws, but he's also testing the limits as well, which they look bad in a sense, but on other times, he looks amazing. Like the touchdown to Lockett, he steps up in the pocket, has to spin out to his left, and makes a ridiculous throw to just drop it in the back corner to bucket in a
beautiful spiral.
It was a very impressive play. So, but obviously turnovers will kill any team and make it a huge uphill climb. All right, we're about 7.5 minutes in. Let's focus on the defense now. Once again, they played a very they played well overall, very aggressive downhill. The Browns did run a lot of screens on us and were successful there, but besides that, it wasn't really that an impressive day for the Browns offense.
I mean, they were able to run the ball too. They ran the ball a lot. They got well over 100 yards rushing, but it was a committee, right? PJ Walker, Hunt, Pierre Strong. Like, Pierre Strong had like a phenomenal run at one point in the game. I was like, dude, stop that. But yeah, they beat us on screens. That's what it was. They had one touchdown drive that was 2 screens and a fake screen, and that was how they scored that touchdown. And that's frustrating, because we used to be so good against the screen. Like, KJ Wright used to just run over there and just blow it up, and we don't see that with Brooks. He's not really kind of doing that right now, and so. But if that's how teams are going to have to be, is throwing screen passes. I'm not worried about that. That's not gonna keep me up at night, But Tariq and Devin Witherspoon, they played phenomenal. Pass breakups, interceptions by Tariq, almost another one by him, and they had an average of 6. They combined had 6.6 QBR, allowed, and that's phenomenal. That's like a perfect game. Yeah,
that's probably a lot of the reason we won the game. You're right. Browns did have a lot of rushing yards. They did have a lot of screens, and they did target Cooper a lot. But you're right. That one touchdown to the tight end, it was a good play call in a sense. But overall, I don't believe we allowed anything over 30 yards, no big plays really in a sense of the passing game. And with the being PJ Walker, I'm sure they're decently comfortable with him. He's not Deshaun Watson. He's not Stafford or Burrow that we faced earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. He's not going to beat you in a sense of he's going to win then the game on his shoulders, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. But he played really well, and he's been playing well.
Yes.
He's had back-to-back comeback wins against the Niners and somebody else. I forget who it was, but I mean, that's phenomenal. And so maybe just because we're just now seeing him, maybe he does become something great, and then we just beat a really good quarterback. I don't know, but that they played well. Their defense showed up. 17 points in the first quarter probably really shocked them.
Yes.
And then they just stopped us until the last 30 seconds of the game. We didn't score again until 30 seconds of the game.
No, you're right. That was, and it was a ridiculously lucky play by Adam.
With the interception?
The interception.
I mean, they weren't going anywhere anyway. They weren't driving anyway. So
no.
They would have been on fourth. They would have been punting the ball anyway, and it would have been a longer drive. That was about it. Yes, I mean, obviously it is easier, but they had it it's all, it's game in inches. So 1 inch, his head went right, and over on the other end, I love that it's safety to safety down. That's pretty cool. Safety to safety.
Yes, that was great. And you're right. Woolen had the earlier interception. Love had the second interception, which is great. And someone actually posted a video that hinted that Witherspoon actually might have had another pass breakup on that play that off the ricochet of Adams' helmet. And if you look at it, there was 3 defenders collapsing on that one receiver. They might have been targeting Cooper on that last play. I can't remember. But then once again, our offense, Gino went right down. He had completion, incompletion, touchdown. And there was a penalty in between that touchdown and the incompletion, but still, it was amazing. So we got about 30 seconds left. I did want to quickly mention that Mafe, 5 sacks in a row in 5 games. That's huge. I think that ties a Seahawks record. Taylor got one in, and Brooks had a forced fumble. It was a very close game overall, but we always finish with special teams. What did you think about Eskridge coming back in, DJ Dallas, and anyone else you mentioned?
Eskridge had a great return to put us in good field position. And then, it's a little something that I saw on Twitter. Drake Reed is out there, has the most tackles for any special teams plays, and he's a rookie as well. So he's out there playing well. And we know we start our starters out there. So he's running out there he's still getting those tackles. That's phenomenal. We got field position, and I think Myers made his field goal, and he made all his extra points. And, we punted the ball well, and we're number 2 overall on PFF and special teams. We're playing great. I don't know if we're the best out there. I don't know if we're beating the Eagles right now, but we're playing great football. Yeah,
and that's good to mention that Myers, I think he's calmed down a little bit. And another rookie, Drake Reed, with that stat. I love that. Overall, we're trending in the right direction, which is great. And we have a tough matchup. 10 a.m. game in Baltimore. It'll be tough. But anyway, as usual, this is 12 minutes. So we're done. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for always listening. Seahawks 5-2 in first place. Love it. Let's go Hawks.
Let's go Hawks, baby. Woo!